Hey, it's the podcast guy.
Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast.
And there it is! Sutton United at the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this. But the whistle goes down. Delight for Sutton United. Sutton United from the National League are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello and welcome to a special episode of Sutton United Talk Time on podcast in association with Lucky Star Gin. I would say surprise guest joining me, but he's going to be all over the artwork, so it's not really a surprise. It's the man himself, the legend, Craig Dundas. Hello, Craig. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Been a while.
It has been. I was just going to say it was like 2017-18. I had you on. And spent a lot of the time saying, "Oh, well, your career's coming to an end," and da da da. What's your plans for after football? And 7 years later, you're still playing.
Yeah, I've been retiring for the last 10 years, but yeah, end of the season is just another year. So
exactly. I did fall into a little bit of habit, especially I think the last 4 or 5 years of like literally the end of every season. It's like one more season.
Yeah. Jokingly, and now, I'm still going. So
absolutely,
maybe another season ahead of me.
So, just to sort of catch up, since you left Sutton, how have things been for you since you sort of moved on from the club? Obviously, it was a big sort of moment to move on. It kind of happened, but a big part of your life, and then you've gone off to another club nearby. You didn't stop.
I mean, during the end of my Sutton reign, I knew it was coming to the end, so I was kind of prepared for it anyway when it did happen. I didn't really have any plans for it when it did happen, so it was just a case of doing what I was doing. So I was doing other jobs. I was coaching with the Ballers Academy, so I had that as like a little thing to do. But then Warren phoned me up, who was at Epsom, said, "Do you want to come down and coach and maybe play now and again?" So I thought, all right, cool. Let me check that out, see what it's like. Obviously, I need to kind of work on my coaching and stuff like that, especially in the men's game as well. Well, I've been doing it under 15s. I've done a few sessions with him. Then I played a few friendlies, and it ended up saying, "I think you still can play, so I'm gonna play you a lot more." So yeah, I've ended up playing, I think, 40 games so far this year. So still not winding down, still kicking on. So see how it goes on.
Was a brace the other week?
Yeah, the brace against Balham, 2 goals, but we lost 3-2, so I couldn't really celebrate the goals too well. So
overly celebrate. I know. I did tell the media guy when you first went there. I said, if Dundo's in the lineup, then the rule is he has to be in the photos, so we can all get it and tweet it out as well.
I got used to where the camera is, so I kind of run the other way, I think. So I didn't get the pictures that I needed.
You're looking for Paul, he did say to me, because we obviously came down and said hello to you, but he did say that it was like, he's basically played pretty much every game, and every minute of every game. In fact, I chatted to him the other day, and he said he'd be very surprised if you weren't winning Player of the Year. Don't want to ruin any surprises there.
We'll see.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you stepping away from sort of the full time? I know we're only full time for a bit. But what's been the biggest adjustment?
I don't know, really. I mean, because I've always generally been working anyway during most of my football career, so it's not like a big adjustment. It's just a change of, say, like training-wise. So I've not been able to train as much as I would do because I'll be working more. Diet plan and all that sort of stuff has to come more in play. I think that's probably the biggest adjustments I've had. Where if we're training every day, we've got food, we've got lunch, and then that's me for the day. But now I actually got to plan what I'm eating rather than picking up stuff on the way. Obviously, I'm getting older, so the pounds go on a little bit quicker than usual. But because I'm used to working, so it's just me just going back into that a little bit more, really.
Yeah. And I mean, you've mentioned you obviously played a lot more than you maybe were expecting. But what's kind of the vibe like at Epsom and Ewell? There's a lot of younger players there. I remember sort of seeing, and they were heading for a night out, and you were giving them all the words of caution.
Yeah.
But what's it kind of like with these young players running all over the place?
I think the league itself is kind of a young league, so it's a lot of adjusting playing style wise. Because obviously, the higher you play, you kind of tend to know where everybody is, what kind of runs they're going to be doing. It's just probably different, a bit more quality and stuff. But yeah, the boys have been well, always asking questions. They kind of look to my experience for guidance, which is what I've kind of went there to do anyway. So yeah, it's just being that extra help, trying to get players to be better and improve, really.
And you've kind of done this playing, coaching, interim management at the moment, and also you're doing the Ballers Academy, as you mentioned. What was it about the Ballers that kind of got you attracted to get involved with that?
Well, originally it was somewhere for my son to go, so we used to train there on a Monday, I believe it was. So yeah, I was just watching him train. Then I kind of found out about what they do in the community in my area. So they've got like disabled stuff. They do just disabled sports. They do girls teams. They do kind of more activity based stuff and that, and they do holiday camps stuff like that. So it's a really kind of community based kind of organization. So it's really good for the community. And because I'm in the area and obviously I've been in football for quite a while, I thought I could kind of help get down there and see what I could add to them, really. And it's something I want to get into, like community stuff and stuff like that as well. So it just worked at the right time for me, and it was local. So it's something I really wanted to do.
It must actually be amazing to be able to do something you're good at, you love, you worked at, to be like, actually,
Yeah.
I can give something back by doing
Yeah.
what I love doing anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
What about the kids? Do they know they've been trained by a legend? Are they aware?
Well, they don't know I'm a legend, as they say. But I was on FIFA or FC 24 the year before, and yeah, some of the kids, what they're like, they just get on there and go, yeah, this is your FIFA card, and that's what they're more bothered about, my FIFA card, rather than what I've done in my career and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was always nice to see the kids like have someone that they kind of look up to or believe they could be better than, because they're always challenging me to one-on-ones and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's good fun for them, and yeah, just passing on my knowledge to them and making sure they enjoy it, really. I mean, that's the most important part about football. It's having somewhere to go where you can enjoy it. I mean, there's a lot of places you can really go and enjoy football at a young age and still be kind of competitive and learning at the same time. So yeah, it's good to be there. But yeah, they do love the FC card. But they was really getting on to me about my ratings, because my rating's about 54 or whatever. So yeah, it was good. It was good fun.
You did point out your age.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm just telling us my age, but yeah, my pace
Yeah,
and yeah, my rating was what they was getting on to me about. So yeah, it's good fun.
absolutely. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It is very much with all the kids. Every parent kind of goes, "Oh, they can kick a ball, therefore they're going to go into an academy and all the rest of it." And there's not much that you can just do. No, we're just doing this for fun and meeting people. I mean, my old Sunday team, it was 9 of them, all came up through Little League together. Good players, but they all came up through Little League and they managed to play Sunday League together. And I was like, "You boys don't know how lucky you are to be playing with your mates every
Yeah.
weekend." But how do you sort of balance? I know you're doing you're working, you're doing Epsom and Ewell, you've got the ballers, and you've got your family as well. How do you sort of balance and keep the energy for all of them?
Um, I think because I'm mainly relaxed most of the time when I'm not doing those things. I do nap quite a bit, which the missus gets onto me about a bit too much, and I should be doing other stuff around the house. But um, I don't really know. I mean, I just try and cram stuff in that I need to do, and then yeah, when it's time to relax, I'll relax when I need to, and then yeah, I'll do my stuff for the kids. I mean, they do like playing like computer games stuff like that, so it's just easy for me to just sit there and play with them and do board games stuff like that. So when I get the chance, I do take them out and stuff like that. So yeah, it is difficult time wise, but yeah, we tend to get it in most weeks.
And you kind of you've shifted from the full time. Has you noticed anything different, and appreciate maybe certain things more that was happening that you didn't maybe realize at the time that you should have appreciated? I know you went into the full time. Well, yeah, everyone says you went into full time professional quite late, but you were a professional previously out in Cyprus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So is there anything you kind of appreciate now about the game that you're trying to pass on to some of these youngsters to say you've got to enjoy this or you've got to make the most of this?
I think it's just making the most of like every session, because I've had like a 20 plus, like playing football for 20 plus years, but it goes really, really quick and you don't realize how quick it goes. But before you know it, you're either released or you've got injured or no one wants to sign you anymore, and it's like gone in a flash. So it's about like giving your all, like day in, day out, and then just enjoying the moments you have, because once it goes past, it just goes like that in a flash, and then sometimes you kind of remember. I mean, I'm digging up some programs for the testimonial, and I'm reading stuff about what because I've kept them because I know I've done something good in the program. But yeah, I'm looking at old programs. I didn't realize I did all this stuff that I was playing. So as I said, it goes quick. Sometimes you don't remember most of it, but yeah, it's about enjoying what you're doing and just taking it in really and not taking it for granted.
Yeah, I mean, just want to say where you said 20 plus, that plus is doing a bit of heavy lifting because it's what, 26, 27?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget now. It's got to the point where you start to forget.
So are there any kind of, you've played under various different managers, different coaches at Sutton and elsewhere. Is there any of their coaching drills or anything that you've kind of gone, yeah, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to have that. I'm going to put my own spin on it, that you still use to this day?
Honestly, I'll probably use everything that they've all taught me. So everything, any drill that they've done, any kind of tactics they've set up, I'm just pretty much using it all. I mean, the best, I was on a UEFA B, I think last year, and one of the tutors said like the best coaches are the good best thieves. So you have to kind of take stuff from other coaches, obviously to go into your philosophy and how you want to do things, but it's best to take from what you've seen and take the best and the bad of it. But yeah, every coach I've been lucky. I've had like loads of good coaches throughout my playing career. So I've always just taught whatever sessions I could think of from them. Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, I know you were Sutton a long time, but we're going to sort of rewind back to 2007 when you signed for us.
Yeah.
Can you remember much about that initial move and what your first impressions of Sutton were back in the day, before the day?
I remember I was at Carl Shorten, so it was a kind of like a big kind of move to go to from Carl Shorten to Sutton. Obviously, the rival was a little bit more on the same level back in those times. It was just a quick thing because the manager was Ernie Howe and Peter Burdett, who was with me at Croydon, one of my first clubs. He just said to me, "Do you want to come to Sutton?" And I didn't realize. I knew Sutton was in like the conference, the National League it is now. So I knew there was quite a big like non-league club. But I didn't realize how big. I didn't know about the Coventry and all that sort of stuff before I signed. But then I soon realized when I got there what type of club it was. And then obviously first game 3-0 down after I think it was like half an hour or something like that. I knew the club was not in a good way because I think it was bottom of the league at the time. I didn't realize how bad it was. So I was thinking, who have I signed for here? Oh, it's going to be another tough year. But yeah, I had a good 6 months or 4 months, what it was to the end of the season. So I really enjoyed my time when I signed. It was a little bit more professional. Obviously, the level was what I wanted to play. I wanted to play as high as I could. And it seemed a well-run club at the time compared to some of the clubs that I've been at before. So it was enlightening. A very difficult time in terms of like results and stuff like that. But personally, I done really well. So I enjoyed it at the start.
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking this up and doing a bit, I thought that's a really strange stat. Your first season with us, we got relegated. And your last season with us, we got relegated with promotions in the middle. But it was like, oh, that's a nice little loop. We're back in the National League where we kind of at what point did you think hang on a minute, this isn't going to be just another club that I'm at. This is home. This is where I'm going to be for a long time.
Probably after, well, the year I got released, and got myself back into shape. We have a year at Hampton, which is a good year. And then as soon as those kind of phoned me up and said you want to come back, I was like, yeah, straight away, like snapped send off to come back. And I think from then, that's when I thought this could be a place where, because I don't really like to move clubs as you see in my how long I've played. I haven't played for many clubs, so I don't really like to move clubs. So I kind of look for somewhere stable anyway. But then when I come back in that year and Dawson explained to me what his plans and stuff like that was, what he's looking to do with the club, and then yeah, from then I was just like, yeah, I want to stay here for as long as I can, and yeah, the rest is history, as they say.
I know you don't like this really, but cult hero, legend. What do you think it was about your playing style or your attitude, personality that created such a strong connection with the supporters?
I probably think because I never really give up, and I base my game on just working hard, and just me trying to make things happen as best as I can. So no matter what the score is, I said my first game was 3-0 down, but I still continue to go because for me it's just about playing football and enjoying it. I mean, you could be 4 or 5-0 down, but still you might be able to get a goal here and there, or like you have to find some enjoyment in losing at some point. So rather than be doom and gloom, I think it's probably my work rate. Um, as well as a few good goals I've scored, but in a few years. But yeah, I think mainly probably my work rate, and yeah, I think probably my personality is I'm quite approachable as well. As I said, Sutton's been like a club where you go after the game, speak with the supporters, and they're there until whatever o'clock, and they just come approach you, and then you can have stories and whatever with them. So I think it's probably those main things that's kind of endeared me to the fans.
I mean, obviously, you've made the title to the podcast. You created the podcast guy. To be honest with
you, I want some royalties on that.
Yeah. Well, when I get paid, you will. So, I mean, it's well known that football players and fans are very superstitious and have little quirks. I mean, I stood on that curver for a long time, then I had to move and had a bit of a sulk about it. You've had changing rooms get knocked down, moved, all sorts of different things. What kind of quirks or routines did you have when you were at Sutton, or were there any?
I went for a stage where I had one I used to do where I used to basically do the warm up. I always used to warm up in molds, no matter what it was, and then change my boots before the start of the game when I had other boots. And then I had to take off my warm on. Basically, I just take off my kit and then re-get dressed again, ready for the game. So that's kind of the only superstition that I had. Um, I think yeah, that one I used to wash my face with cold water and stuff like that before. So it's yeah, wash my face with cold water, take off my warm up, all my warm up kit, socks, everything, and then just redress, ready for the kickoff.
Yeah, I heard a story about boots where you rocked up at Croydon, did your training session, and they went, "Yeah, come next week, bring boots." Yeah, I haven't got any.
Yeah, yeah, that was long time ago when I didn't really know about because growing up I used to just play on the indoor gym, like the
Mhm.
wooden flooring with the green like
Ooh.
carpet ball, whatever it was. So yeah, just turn up in like in those really, and I didn't know anything about semi-pro, and I just know that at the time that I didn't have to pay subs, which is kind of what drawn me to playing for Croydon. And then yeah, I didn't have any boots, and then yeah, I had to go back and yeah, somehow I finally managed to find some boots from somebody or whoever, and then yeah, go back down there, and then yeah, it started to go well.
Yeah, these are the days before Sports Direct. Everyone, you can go and get a pair of Diodoras for 5p or something.
Yeah, yeah, we had to go central London, Lillywhats, I think it was at the time, to go get our boots. So I don't even know if that's still there, but that's where we
Or
used to
there's
get our
a
boots.
little shop in Morden there was that did good trade. So lots of matches, lots of opponents. Who stands out as the toughest opponent that you faced? Who did you look and think, oh God, please don't let them be playing?
Toughest opponent. Trying to think. Probably there was a guy at I think it was Hazen Yedin back in the day. It might have been, who was it? It might have been Darty Brown. I think his name was. I think he's passed away now. I think he was one of the players that I used to hate playing against, as well as I think Marvin Morgan, another guy's passed away as well. When he was at Hazen Yedin as well, basically the Hazen Yedin team, I think it was in that era. But every time we used to play, he used to always do something special, and yeah, it was those kind. I think those kind of two that kind of spring to mind. I mean, there's probably a few more that I can't think of at that moment, but I think those two just spring to mind.
And you've mentioned the sort of the fitness regime, because I do remember at one stage you came back after a pre-season and it was like you'd done some kind of weird voodoo ritual and you were half the man that you had previously been. What was the secret to, what was the switch that made you go, yeah, I'm taking this seriously now, I'm changing up everything?
I think it was later on in my career, if I can remember. I think it was possibly one of those years where I was going to retire again, and I thought, I think I've still got a little bit left in me. So I think that year, the missus went away with the kids on holiday, and I stayed home, and I was just doing double sessions for like 2-3 weeks before we went into pre-season. Then I think pre-season started, I was still feeling fit. I don't think I was going to play much that year either, but then I think 3 or 4 of our strikers got injured, and then I was basically the only one left. And then yeah, from then I just went on, played, and then had a really really good year. And then that's where the one more year come from, because that's where it always that's where it started. It was just one more year, see what I can do in the off season, see if I can keep fit and healthy. And then yeah, I mean, just yeah, I was just doing double sessions that summer, eating right, not eating none of the, because I do like biscuits. Biscuits is probably my weakness. This biscuits and fried chicken. So cut those out for maybe 2-3 years, and yeah, it's been much better since then.
Yeah, couldn't do that. You spoke about lots of the goals. There's a couple that, I mean, there's loads, but there's a couple I want to talk about. The Tranmere one, I think it was 99 in an FA Cup
99.
match. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it was goal number 99, not in 1999. But
in the league, it was. I think it was in the league.
Was it league? Oh,
away.
sorry. Yeah, away. It was a big goal, and there was lots of noise and celebrations. I mean, how much goes through your mind at that time? Do you think, oh, that was something special, or can you hear everyone chanting, shouting your name, going mad?
Yeah, there was up. Yeah, because we do carry a loud support away from home. I definitely did hear them that day, but it was just one of those grounds that I liked playing at. It's got the big, massive stand. It's a very like, it can be hostile in like the evening games in terms of like the atmosphere they create, and it can get you nervous, stuff like that. So, but being my first, I think that was my first National League goal as well. So it was a special ground to get it at, and it was a special moment, and obviously got us to win that year as well. So yeah, it was really really nice, and it's probably one of my more memorable goals, or more what's the word? One of my most sentimental goals, I think. So yeah.
So you've kind of touched on this when you said you're looking through the programs and thinking, oh God, I didn't realise that. When these milestones are occurring, does it play on your mind? Once you got that 99th, did you start sitting there going, got to get 100, got to get 100, and start sort of overthinking it? Or is it just literally just, I'm here to play football, I'm not paying subs, I'm loving life at the moment?
A bit of everything. I didn't really know. Obviously, Clive Baxter, the kit man, he used to come and tell me everything that was going on. So he's the one who put most of the pressure onto me rather than myself. So I was just trying to do it for him, because he likes those sort of milestones, like round it off. Because I'm on 109 now, and he was onto me about getting that one more to round it off. So yeah, other than him telling me, I wouldn't really know milestones. Like when it was my 100th appearance, it's 200, I'd just turn up and then someone will say, oh, this is your so-and-so appearance. I was like, oh, is it? I didn't realize, because I'm just how I am. I just go day to day and take it as it is. So yeah, it's just mainly Clive putting pressure on me to get that 100th goal at that moment. And
you got your little mural.
Yeah.
Was it on the 450?
I think that was 300.
400.
That one was, yeah,
Yeah.
300 or 400. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you went on, you carried on.
Yeah.
One more year, 1 more year.
One more year.
You did make your debut in the EFL, which came pretty late. People don't know, but they can't be sure. But certainly since the Second World War, the oldest player to make a debut in the EFL.
Yeah.
It wasn't give the old boy a run out. It was we were hanging on to I'd said to someone to draw the game, but actually it was win the game. I looked back, and we were hanging on to get our first win in the EFL, and you came on to steady the ship. What was that moment like? And did you ever think? Did you think it had passed you by before that season? Did you think it wasn't going to happen?
Yeah. I kind of give up my dream of playing like league football like a long time ago. Probably, I think when I was at Carl Shorten, there was a point where I was doing well. I think I scored a load of goals, and I was supposed to go Swindon for pre-season, and then the manager got sacked. So then that was no chance of me doing it, and that's probably my only kind of chance of playing EFL football throughout the career. So yeah, I'd definitely given up on it, and I didn't think we was going to have the season that we did in the National League to actually go and win it. And then when we won it, it was a case of will he keep me in the playing staff to get this moment. But you told me early on that no matter what, you're going to get it, whether it's at the start of the season or at the end of the season. Because obviously he sees me in training, says you still can do a job here. So yeah, just keep yourself on it, look after yourself, and then at some time I'm going to give you the opportunity, which Matty Gray and most managers wouldn't do that, I don't think. So at the age that I was, so fair play to him for doing that. And then yeah, the day or the night before, he phones me up and says, "Yeah, you're going to be in the squad tomorrow." So I didn't think nothing of it because we hadn't had our win, so I didn't really think that I will get the opportunity. But yeah, 2-1 up. He's saying, "Look, we need someone to go up there, just hold the ball up and set the game for us," which is what I've pretty been good at doing in the back end of my career, winning flickers, holding the ball up and bringing people into play. So I was fit enough, so I just went on there, done the job that I needed to do, and yeah, we just started the game to get our first win, which is perfect for me, getting my first league win and my first debut in the league as well. So yeah, it was a good afternoon for me.
And Paul caught your face coming on. Your
Yeah.
big grin. That was like, oh, that was one of the best pictures I've seen in years.
I didn't even
What
realize
did
I was smiling.
Oh, you were grinning. I mean, what did Matt say to you as you were coming on? Just
Said, yeah,
normal
just do what
instructions, or
just do what you normally do. Just hold the ball up for us, bring other people into play, so we can have a little rest and like keep the ball. Because I think we weren't under pressure, but they were starting to put us a bit under pressure. So we just needed someone to hold it up there just for a little bit longer to release the pressure on us. And yeah, I did that. And yeah, it was about what all he said to me is, yeah, just keep doing what you've been doing throughout the years.
beautiful. Now, I was a bit mean when I said about the full circle relegation first season, relegation last season.
I've had more. I've had a few relegations. It's all right.
But you've had title wins as well. So we won the National League South and the National League, which you were part of the squad in both of those. How did the two sort of squads compare, and what was the experience like on winning those championships? Sort of, I know one of them you were slightly more direct influence, but the other one you were in and around the squad, and it's definitely that COVID time as well. Everyone needs to be together. What was it like in those title winning seasons?
I think the National League one. I think I was warming up in a game with Toby Show Silver. Easy for me to say. It was a home game, and I can't remember like who we was playing, but we was warming up together, and we was just watching the game while we was warming up, and we kind of looked at each other in the same time and said, "Oh, I think we got something there this year," and like not thinking, like not many people would have thought that we could gone and win the league, but that day we looked at each other and thought, yeah, we could win something here. And then yeah, obviously the quality we had, we obviously went on and won it. But the squad itself, I mean, from like the goalkeeper to like the 23rd, 24th player in the squad, it was everyone was just all on the same page. Like they weren't too unhappy when they was left out, and when they were left out, they was cheering on the boys. So like everyone was kind of in it together. There weren't no bad eggs or anything like that. So I think that's what that squad kind of pushed each other on. So the competition was there. So when one player got injured or suspended, another one would step straight in, because the way we just supported over that year is what kind of pushed us over the line to get to the title. The National League South team was just about, we had a lot of, what could I say? The word camaraderie, but it's more like, I think it's more banterish, kind of like easygoing kind of players where everyone would just get onto each other, like in a good way, take the mickey out of each other, and then we would just turn up to games. I think we went 26 unbeaten that year when I think, was it Epsom or whoever it was running away with it, yeah. And I think they booked their Vegas trip and all that sort of stuff. So we didn't think at the time that we could catch them, but the vibe around the change room was like, yeah, we can win most games. So I think we got to game, I think 12 or 13, and then we just turned up to games and just winning them without even trying, sort of thing. So I think the togetherness and like how everyone used to be bantering with each other and stuff like that year was a really good and enjoyable year with that squad.
So, which is your favourite season of all? It doesn't necessarily have to be either of those. And in fact, if you want, you can drop both of those out. But which would you say is your favourite season of that you've had? Can you pinpoint one?
Favorite, I mean, take out the successful years with obviously the title winning teams. Obviously the Arsenal year as well. Could take that out. I'll probably go the year we finished. I think we finished second. The year I got 19, and we lost in the playoffs to Dover. Up until then, that was a really good year. Again, similar to the Conference South squad, kind of the same kind of atmosphere. But personally, yeah, to get 19 goals, probably my best year season for Sutton. So I think that season will be kind of personally what I enjoyed.
And over the years, or different managers, was there any memorable team talk? So
Team talk.
Inspiring, angry, whatever you want. Was there any team talk that you were like, oh, that one got to us?
Yeah, there was one that springs to mind. It was away at Maidenhead. I think we lost the game. Because it was a game that got replayed. I think previously we was 4-3 up maybe, and then it got abandoned because of the weather, and then we got
3-2, and it's when Lewis had scored from like the halfway line.
There was. I think Easton scored, Lewis scored one. There was amazing goals from like both teams in that game on like a mud bath of a pitch, like worst pitch I've ever played on, I think. But yeah, football was good with being played. But anyway, the game got abandoned, and we had to replay it, and we ended up losing the next game against them. And Dozzy's just kept us in the change room for at least half an hour afterwards. And yeah, the things he was saying I can't repeat, but that was probably the change, the team talk that always will spring to mind, where players was getting blamed that weren't here, and it was a crazy team talk. And I think if you mention it to me, we'll be able to remember it 100%.
I think that was probably one of the ones that SUFC TV had technical problems. He couldn't do the post-match. You've hinted at this, and at least one person is going to be pleased it didn't happen. But was there any serious opportunities to move on from Sutton? But you said it wasn't Sutton; it was when you were at Carshalton. But were there any other chances to kind of go, okay, I'm going to move up, or was it just that one time where you said Swindon were interested?
Yeah, I think there was one time when Lewis were top of the National League. Was it National League? Or top of the National League, or we was National League South. I think it was top of the National League maybe. I think Steve King was the manager. That was probably the only time when I could have left. But then they just gave me another contract, probably an extra tenner a week, and I just stayed. So it weren't, as I said earlier, I weren't one of those who likes to move clubs a lot. So it was easy to kind of persuade me to stay, really. But that was the only club I could remember I was interested.
You joke about that tenner, but that probably broke Bruce's heart, to be fair.
Probably. He gets it back. He got it back off either strikers a key anyway. So
You won Supporters Player of the Year multiple times. How much does that direct recognition and appreciation from the fans mean to you?
a lot. I mean, they pay their money to come and watch you like, week in, week out. In the higher moments, they're there when you score goals. That's who you run into to celebrate with. So, with the fans to kind of have the admiration they do for me is heartwarming, and it's what you play football for, really. I mean, you do play it obviously to play at the high level, but when you get a good fans around, the atmosphere in the ground, and like when we won the National League, they was there with us around the ground, and when we won the Ramen Premier, they was in the bar with us. We was there until whatever it was, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. They was just like celebrating. You can hear them chanting with the cup, and it's what it's made of, innit? I mean, if you could bring some joy through playing football, that's one of the things you do it for. So yeah, when the fans are happy, then you're doing something right.
Yeah, it was like the Papa John's as well. We lost, and yet you guys came back in expecting it to be dead, and it was like it went on stupid o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I remember walking around saying, "Imagine if we actually won, what this place would be like."
Yeah, that would have been terrible. So this is probably really unfair, so I will allow you to dip it. But you've had lots of teammates. Who do you feel you had the best connection with on the pitch and or off the pitch?
I think it has to go through from eras, really. I mean, obviously, different eras are driving in with different players. So, if you think of the National League team, would probably be, I think Simon Downer will be throughout most of the eras as well. So Simon Downer off the pitch, obviously great guy, loves a joke, and shared the room with him a few times. So yeah, it'd probably be Simon Downer like for the most part. But then you got players like Bradley Wood-Garnish. We was close with Eastman, Leeway Griffith. Most of the National League team because it was during COVID, so you was with each other a lot. Jamie Collins, those sort of players, really, that just off my top of my head I could keep going because we're all, as a change room, we're all kind of together, so it's hard to pick your favorites. But I think those are kind of the main protagonists that would be the ones that kind of come to mind.
Yeah, I could chuck some other names at you right now, and you'd be like, "Oh, yeah." The list is too many. It was like when the debut happened, and we saw the list of people underneath, the who's who of congratulating you. It's like, hang on, that's a lot of players. You don't get all that from just a player. People would really, really respect you. And
because you got like Harry Butte, you got Harry Buteman, Louis John, Rob Milson. Yeah, I could just keep that. I think
exactly, and that's why I said it was unfair. The reason why I wanted to mention the teammates is I wanted to put some in your mind, because the next question is, give us a story, dish some dirt on the dressing room. What's the memorable / punishable story that you can tell? Kids listen, so do keep it PG.
Story. I actually don't know, because I don't really get involved in all that sort of stuff, really. I mean, I'm normally first to leave at a night out, and that's even if I do get out. But yeah, there's not really. Let me think. What can I say? Any dirt? Any funny stories?
You don't want to drop
Not
anyone.
really. Not really. Only the team talks with Doz, I think, really, when we've lost the game that we should have won.
You've hinted at this one as well. Particular any away grounds or trips that you really look forward to with Sutton? So the atmosphere or a good track record. So you mentioned Tranmere, but was that your favourite away ground, or is there others?
Probably Tranmere, and I think Orient is probably one of my favourite grounds, where it's enclosed in. The atmosphere is always good there. And then we have a on and off kind of run of results there as well. But I think Orient, Tranmere are probably the main ones. MK Dons was stadium wise was a great stadium, and the atmosphere weren't as good as the other two. But yeah, I think those are the three stadiums I kind of enjoyed going to the most.
Not Wembley.
Nah, that's just too small for me, innit?
If you could magically play one game again for the first time, what game would you pick out to relive from your entire
My
career? Can
career,
any game throughout your entire career?
probably when I was away in Cyprus when we played Ewell in the cup away at their place in the GSV, which is like a lovely stadium. I'll probably put that in the stadiums that I'd like to go back to. But yeah, funnily enough, I was on the bench that day because there's like a build up. The team that I was at, there's like, oh, they got this English player, he's doing quite well. We'd be like to see what he's like today against them at their camp. So they put me on the bench basically for I don't know what reason to let one of their players play. But yeah, I definitely would like to relive that game and obviously start or get a lot more minutes. But it was a good atmosphere there. Obviously we lost quite heavily in that game, but it's because I weren't playing, which I said to the to the manager afterwards.
Absolutely,
Could have done a little better. But yeah, I probably that because I didn't get as much minutes as I wanted to in that game. So yeah, probably replay that one.
I did hear of another friendly, I think it was, against a side playing European football, or it was an early round of European football, and you scored pretty much from the halfway line. Well,
Halfway line.
you picked the ball up from the halfway line, I think, maybe. And
Oh, that's against Concord Rangers, I think it was.
no, it was definitely when you were out in Cyprus. Ken was telling it.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah,
It-
that part of my career, I can only remember like a few of the goals. Obviously, the Ewell game. We played a game against a team called Al Key, which is probably like was the biggest upset of that year because we managed to make it through to like the third round of the cup. So those are the two games that really spring to mind. Yeah, I used to pick the ball up from halfway like at that age all the time, so that could have been any game.
could be right. Well, do it all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
So obviously, you became a very respected leader figure in the changing room. Did that happen naturally, or was that you've always been like that? Because you're quite quiet well, you seem quite quiet. I don't know what you're like in the changing rooms because I've never been there. But is it just something that you evolved naturally, or have you always been sort of someone that people follow?
I think yeah, it just happened naturally. As I said, yeah, I am quite quiet. If you talk to me, I'm happy to speak to you. I haven't been the one that will always just go and make a conversation with somebody, but if like we're next to each other, we could easily speak. So yeah, it's something that I kind of grew into. Obviously, doing the different roles, then you have to kind of be a little bit more vocal. As you get older, players are looking towards you a little bit more because you can't look to anyone else. So you have to think, oh, I've got to kind of lead these boys a little bit more. But yeah, it's just happened like naturally. I think as you get older and you're in like an industry for a certain amount of time, you tend to pick up things on how to be, how to act, and then yeah, just try and do it in your own way. So yeah, that's what I kind of be like a little, I don't know, what uncle or father figure, whatever you want to call it, to the young lads. So yeah, that's what I used to do.
Okay, so we're now going to get to a bit make you very uncomfortable because I'm going to start banging the drum and hyping up the testimonial. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, how did you feel when you found out that the supporters in the club were organising a testimonial for you? It doesn't happen very often these days, but how did it kind of come about? How did it make you feel?
They talked about it a few times during when Matty was there. I think during our first year in the EFL, they started talking about it, and I didn't think it was going to happen, but I thought like a testimony is kind of a big thing. You don't get it all the time, or you don't get it much. So it's an honor really like, at a club like Sutton to finally get something like this. Yeah, it's just a big honor, and yeah, I was happy that we got organised and finally that it's going to happen in a few weeks.
It is indeed, and the list of people coming along. There's two matches in particular. You mentioned them both. Seasons: the Arsenal FA Cup run, and the promotion to the league run.
Yeah.
Lots of different players. One team slightly hampered by some of the players still playing. So,
Yeah.
but what do you? I know not being the centre of attention is what you're not looking forward to, but what are you most looking forward to on the day for the testimonial? Is it people coming back? Is it playing at Gander Green Lane again?
I think it's just to get to see everyone as much as old teammates we can get down because you know what it's like when players kind of tend to leave clubs. speak to them now and again, but you don't really get to see them as much with the people you be sharing. Like you see 3-4 days a week when you're playing with them, you don't really get to see them that much and don't really get to speak to them a lot. So it's good to kind of get a lot of the old squads back together. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, just seeing everybody what shape they're in as well, and see who's really let themselves go and who's kept themselves in good nick. But yeah, it's good to just get everyone together. That's what I'm kind of really looking forward to.
Yeah, it's a very odd industry because you're playing with someone and you're chatting to them, and then they get transferred or released, and suddenly you don't really get the chance to say goodbye. So
Yeah,
it's like, oh, okay, they're gone.
yeah.
Which side are you swapping at half time? What's the situation with you? Are you reffing the game? Who are you playing, or is that a secret?
I don't want to be the ref, that's definite, because I know a few of the players, they're still competitive. So yeah, I used to get battered in training when I used to ref, so I don't want to be doing it in a game like this. But yeah, hopefully I get to play for both teams. I'm not really kind of sorting that out yet. We see how it goes on the day. Obviously, some players will be able to play full 90, others won't. Some might have different obligations with their club and different restrictions. So yeah, just see how it goes and yeah, take it from there really.
You mentioned that training. It's likely to be competitive. I mean, you got Jamie and Easty captaining sides,
Yeah.
so it's not likely to be right touches, and everyone's good mate. So that's usually the worst thing
Yeah.
for tackling. How much of the competitive instinct do you think everyone's going to have? It's all going to start off fun and games, but I'm sure that
Yeah, I think it will start off fun and games, but by the end of it, yeah, it's gonna get a little bit more competitive, 100%. I mean, like professionals footballers, they've done it for how many years? So it's gonna kick in at some point, but hopefully it's not gonna boil over too much. But yeah, it should be good fun.
and there's going to be a lot of the banter back. Who are you looking forward to giving it back to that can't really say much to you on the day? Is Downer gonna is Simon Downer gonna be there? So you can kind of
Yeah.
go, well, it's my day. You can't give it back.
If Downer's there, it doesn't matter if it's my day or whose day. It's yeah. When it's time for banter, he's the guy that won't switch it off at all. So yeah, looking forward to it. I kind of you miss all that stuff anyway. So yeah, it'd be good to hear the lines and stuff.
And sort of the changing room, I'm sure there's going to be stories swapped. I mean, is there anyone you haven't caught up with for quite? I know you said sort of you don't see anyone, but is there anyone you haven't caught up with that you know is coming that you haven't spoken to for quite a long time that you're really looking forward to seeing? Everyone I know, but is there someone in particular that you haven't seen for ages that you
Um,
know of, obviously?
yeah, not really. I follow a lot of them on social media, so you get to see kind of what they've been up to. So yeah, it's just really good to just see them in the flesh, really, and yeah, get to just have a laugh with them again for how long the day lasts. So yeah, it's kind of basically everyone really.
Okay, we've touched on this already. So a testimonial is rare. Are you able to kind of describe its significance to people who wouldn't necessarily know what it is, or how do you think you've covered that? It's
Yeah,
basically you've been there a long time.
yeah, basically that's all it means. You've been there a long time, so yeah, it's something in your honor, really.
Fair enough. And what message would you like to send to people who followed you through your journey and to come down and sort of encourage them? You do need to give a little sales power. Loads of tickets are sold already. I know that, but
Yeah.
I messaged you like day one, and I got my ticket.
Yeah.
But what message would you like to get anyone who perhaps hasn't bought a ticket yet?
Yeah, it's just been a great day to see certain players of young and old. A few of the latest squad of last year was going to be there, and plus a few of the players that helped in the club success over the recent years, bringing them back from the Ryman Premier all the way up to League Two, the FA Cup runs, and yeah, the good days is what the club was, because it went through a bad kind of little run the club for a couple of years. So yeah, all those players that helped kind of stabilize the club, managers that help stabilize the club and brought the club back to successful times are going to be there. So it's a good day to enjoy and yeah, get to see everyone who reshape the club.
Yeah, beautiful. And I'm sure we can have drinks on the pitch side. I'm sure some players will be wanting a drink on the pitch, but they'll have to behave themselves because Craig's there. Craig, thank you so much. It's been great chatting to you. Can't wait to see you. Good luck for the rest of the season for Epsom and Ewell as well. We will definitely see you on the 25th. And thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. See you soon.
See you soon. This wraps up the episode of Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. Thanks for your attention. Thanks to Craig. Thanks for everyone listening. Take care and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. United! 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 United!